Ryan, I would say, in my opinion, is plausibly the most guilty party of this entire thing, okay?
Ryan started the fire!
But anyways, he did file to be dismissed from the lawsuit. And that thesis is essentially that Ryan is actually such a good guy that he kind of had to be a bad guy.
Intro. Things just took a brutal turn for Blake Lively, because leaked footage and a Reddit post are spreading like wildfire, and they paint a completely different picture than the one she's shown the world. This isn't about a fashion faux pas or a throwaway comment. This is behind-the-scenes video and damning first-person accounts that challenge the core of her legal battle with Justin Baldoni. And no matter how polished her public image is, this new wave of evidence is turning it upside down.
Something about that is very bizarre, and it's making me want to dig deeper into what is really going on with her. Is Blake Lively diagnosed with something that could actually affect this case and actually explain?
If you've been following the headlines, you know Blake accused Justin of creating a toxic, unsafe filming environment on the set of It Ends With Us. She described him as emotionally aggressive and controlling. She said she felt threatened, harassed, intimidated. But now, the world is seeing something else entirely. And it all starts with a hug. The first signs of trouble came when Blake didn't just take her grievances to court, she brought them to the media. In a carefully crafted New York Times article, she laid out serious accusations. Not just about uncomfortable scenes or disagreements, but about emotional manipulation and an unsafe work atmosphere allegedly fostered by Baldoni. That article became a rallying cry. Blake was instantly framed as the empowered woman speaking out. Justin was branded the manipulator. And the public, especially Blake's fan base, sided with her almost instantly. But making something public comes with consequences.
Yet the majority of things that we're buying are created by men. And that goes into storytelling, that goes into filmmaking, that goes into everything. So I think that it's, and I like a lot of stories told by men and products made by men.
When you take a fight to the court of public opinion, everything becomes evidence. And unfortunately for Blake, the footage that started surfacing didn't support her version of events. It started with a simple hug, the kind most people wouldn't think twice about. May 17th, 2023. Behind the scenes on the set of It Ends With Us. The cameras weren't rolling. There was no red carpet or media spotlight, just a regular moment between takes. Blake Lively approaches Justin Baldoni. No hesitation, no tension. She moves in close and they hug. Not a side hug, not an awkward, distant gesture. A genuine, full embrace. Blake smiles. Justin smiles. They lean into each other with the kind of ease that only comes from familiarity. They share a laugh, a few quiet words. Their body language? Completely relaxed. There's no trace of discomfort, no coldness, no unease. In fact, it looks like they're having a good time. But that's exactly why the video caused such a storm. Because by the time this clip was taken, Blake had already begun painting a very different picture in the public eye.
I love creating, and I think that as women, you're not often given authorship, yet women represent 85% of people making purchases in homes across all categories.
One where Justin was the problem. The man who created a hostile environment and left her feeling emotionally unsafe. So naturally, the question exploded across the internet. If she was that uncomfortable, why did she hug him like that? This wasn't some distant, forced gesture. It wasn't staged. It was natural, voluntary, initiated by her. Defenders were quick to argue that trauma doesn't always look like fear, that victims can be polite, even affectionate, when they feel they have no choice. And that's true. Sometimes. But here's the thing. This wasn't a private, pressured interaction. It was a moment in public, on set, in front of crew members and cameras, with Blake holding significant power behind the scenes. If she was being mistreated, wouldn't she keep her distance? Wouldn't her body language reflect some tension? Instead, what people saw looked like friendship, trust, comfort. The video spread across Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, and the commentary was brutal. Blake looks completely fine with him. This doesn't match her story at all. She hugged the guy she says traumatized her. Seriously? And just like that, the public started to question everything. Because sometimes it's not what people say in interviews or court filings that tells the truth.
You've been following the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing?
Bro, Blake Lively, talk about ruin your reputation, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they up. Ryan's trying to get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit, and they're like, you were a key part of this.
Sometimes, it's what they do when they think no one's watching. The rooftop scene in It Ends With Us was supposed to be the emotional climax, the moment that captures the raw, intimate conflict between the characters. But behind the scenes, it became something much darker. According to multiple insiders, Blake didn't just disagree with the script. She allegedly had Ryan Reynolds rewrite the scene entirely, without running it through production, without the director's input, without clearance from the writers or producers. Justin Baldoni, both the film's star and its director, reportedly pushed back. He wasn't just worried about artistic vision. He was concerned about process, professionalism, and creative boundaries. But it didn't matter. Because at a private meeting at the Reynolds Manhattan penthouse, allegedly attended by Blake, Ryan, Justin, and a still unnamed guest, widely speculated to be Taylor Swift, Justin was pressured into accepting the new version.
Blake Lively fears profound mental health issues are at risk of being leaked amid Justin Baldoni legal drama.
And when a Sony rep later apologized to him privately, saying, "I'm sorry I let him do that to you," it became clear. Blake wasn't a victim of the system. She was the system. Then another clip leaked. This one from the rooftop scene itself. If Blake's court claims were true, this was the moment where she felt most violated. She accused Justin of making her feel unsafe, uncomfortable. She said he crossed a line emotionally and physically. But in the video, what do we see? Blake, mid-shoot, laughing, smiling, engaging with Justin like they're longtime collaborators. There's no visible tension, no withdrawn posture, no discomfort in her face or body language. The public watched in disbelief. If this is the same moment she said made her feel emotionally violated, then why does it look like she's in complete control? And then came the final blow. Then came the next leaked clip. And for many, it was the most revealing one yet. This time, we see Blake Lively in full control. She's not acting nervous, hesitant, or withdrawn. She's actively giving direction. Not to the crew, but to Justin Baldoni himself.
In fact, what he wants is a successful movie. He wants to protect the movie, and all through the text messages, you'll see over and over and over again, him saying, I don't want to hurt her. I want to protect her. Let's give her what she wants.
In the footage, Blake tells Justin how to approach her in the scene, how to pull her in with more intensity, and even how to kiss her in a way that looks more natural on camera. She demonstrates the body movement she wants, adjusts his position, and offers calm, confident notes, like a director fine-tuning a performance. And the most telling part? Justin just listens. He doesn't resist. He doesn't push back. He follows her lead without a word, letting her take control of the moment. But here's why this matters. This is the same woman who accused Justin of making her feel unsafe during these exact kinds of scenes. She claimed he ignored boundaries and made her uncomfortable during intimate moments on set. Yet in this clip, she's clearly directing the scene. There's no sign of discomfort, no hesitation, just total ease and authority. So which version is real? The Blake who said she was overwhelmed and objectified? Or the Blake who was choreographing a kiss on her terms? The footage doesn't lie. And in this case, it directly clashes with the story she's been telling the world.
The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your successes.
And for a growing number of people online, that contradiction is becoming impossible to ignore. If all that weren't enough, an old interview clip resurfaced, and it made things even worse. In the video, Blake downplays the entire premise of the film. She says, word for word, "This isn't a movie about domestic violence. It's about first love, starting a business, friendship." It was shocking. Fans were furious. The entire book, the original It Ends With Us, is about a woman escaping a harmful relationship. It's known for its unflinching portrayal of abuse, survival, and healing. And Blake Lively, the lead actress and executive producer, publicly says the movie isn't even about that. That one statement didn't just contradict her PR campaign. It unraveled the emotional foundation of her accusations. Because how do you accuse someone of misconduct during the making of a film?
This is what you get, though. This is what you get. You're trying to
ruin a guy's livelihood by using the Me Too movement?
Because they were trying to take over the movie.
He posted the receipts.
When you claim the film wasn't even about the issue you're tying it to, Reddit couldn't handle it. Thread after thread dissected the clips, the quotes, the contradictions. She played us. Justin deserves an apology. This is manipulation, pure and simple. And the comments weren't just angry, they were hurt. Fans who had supported her blindly now felt misled. They weren't just questioning the lawsuit, they were questioning her entire public persona. Even longtime defenders of Blake started pulling back. The footage was too clear. The inconsistencies, too many. And in the middle of it all, Justin Baldoni, silent until now, suddenly started gaining sympathy. Because the evidence didn't show a man who crossed the line. It showed a man caught in the crossfire of someone else's power game. For over a decade, Blake Lively has been one of Hollywood's most carefully curated stars, effortlessly stylish, charming, witty, relatable. She played the media game perfully.
He's like, oh, remember our text exchange? Bah, bah,
How about
bah,
she told him to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding? And then part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth.
But no public image survives when it smashes headfirst into reality. This wasn't the internet attacking her out of nowhere. This wasn't a smear campaign. These were her own actions, her own words, her own on-set behavior, now on display for everyone to see. And suddenly, the woman who had once seemed untouchable didn't look so trustworthy anymore. So what's really going on here? Was Blake Lively genuinely uncomfortable on set? Or was she using the power of a victim narrative to reshape a film she wanted total control over? Was Justin Baldoni the aggressor, or the scapegoat in a high-stakes publicity war? The truth might lie somewhere in the middle. Or maybe, just maybe, the footage is the truth. Because no matter how much PR spin you apply, the camera doesn't lie. And what the camera caught has already reshaped public opinion. This isn't just about a movie anymore. It's about credibility and the cost of playing both sides of the story. So let us know in the comments. Is this Blake Lively's unraveling moment, or is the internet getting it all wrong? Either way, the damage has already been done. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.